Well, hello everyone, welcome to another livestream. Hi there! Hi the Drix, hi the Dog, the King Explorer, hi the Siphon, hi the Justice, hi the Farmain, hi the Remco, hi the Mr. Best. Hi Style Blazer, welcome. Pizza was amazing, I'm glad to hear. I was wondering. And again, this math guy. Actually, today, I thought we could do something... Because here's the thing. The video is doing well. I won't be lying, it's doing well. I'm rendering some more animations. Oh, there's actually the last frame. Sweet, so now I'll be able to... Never mind, it is not the last frame, I was wrong. But the video is doing well, my point is. And so I thought that since I'm doing well with work on this video, we could already start planning the video in 3 weeks. That is... I don't know why I looked up this way, if I could just... No, whatever. That is the chemistry video. Graviton doesn't exist. Oh, 2 rights for left. Okay, so libraries, of course. This layout always confuses me. And chemistry. Open stacks. What chemistry? Yes, chemistry. You heard me right. Who's your favorite YouTuber, guys? Yeah, everyone, who is your favorite YouTuber? I'm curious to know. Who's your all's favorite YouTuber? I'm just dying to know. Go on. Chemistry, the carbonic plague. Yeah, we are doing the carbonic part of chemistry. Ah, yum. Open stacks, of course. Vsauce. Okay, so Remco, would you mind banning Mr. Best real quick? Just ban him. That would be just sweet. So we will start with organic reactions. Well, obviously that's what the video is gonna be about, you know. Damn it, Remco, you're supposed to ban people who insult me. What's the point of having a dictatorship if I let people just not claim that I'm not their favorite YouTuber? Might as well have a democracy at that point. Honestly, ridiculous. Alcoholic solution of benzodiazepines. Hold on. Silencing is better than banning, you need the income. Genius. Genius. And that's why Remco is a blue nickname. Forward thinking. Benzodiazepines. Hold on. I know what benzo means. Benzodiazepines. I don't know how to pronounce these. This chemistry. I don't like it anyway. Well, I mean, I haven't gotten that deep into it, so I guess maybe eventually. Hold on, let me play some music, because it is awfully dry in here. Where be it? There it is. There it is, and there it is. Oh my goodness, why is it so annoying to add all the things? There we go. So, you have a Xanax since it benzodiazepine. I was trying to guess what it is, but diazepine. I'm assuming it's dia as in 2. Benzo, of course, because I know what benzo means. Dia, I'm guessing as in 2. I will oppose your direct orders if it benefits you. I'm all for it. 14 people, you have 44,000 subs. 14 people is a lot! This is daily live streams, this is a lot for me. Well, actually, recently we had 31, I guess. I suppose that's fair. Google it. I mean, I have a guess on what it could be. Although, I don't... Hold on. Benzodiazepine. Oh my goodness, no, there's no way I would have gotten that from the name. I was guessing that diazepine... this seemed like something nitrogen-y, but I don't know if I'm in the right place. Scores chemical structure from benzene ring makes sense. Diazepine ring. What's diazepine? 2 nitrogens! Oh my goodness, I was correct! Wow, that feels odd. Is azepine really from nitrogen? Is this going to be a continuation of the one you made 2 days ago? Yes, it will be. That's why actually we're gonna start right away with organic chemistry. We won't cover the basics. We won't reinvent the wheel again. Good day, you absolutely fabulous unit of men. Well, thank you, CT66666s. Thank you. Bravo, you won an organic chemistry PhD. Alright. Kinds of organic reactions. There are kinds? Oh, goodness gracious me. I'm thrilled to find out. Addition, elimination, substitution, rearrangement. That's what I don't like about organic chemistry. You have so much information that just seems pointless. Where they basically, everything is classified for no other reason than like to sound smart and clever. That's why I don't like stereochemistry. And like chirality. I'm never going to explain chirality because it's obvious. The only thing to teach when it comes to chirality is the words, the names. That's not interesting. Study business. Alright, Infintrix, bye, have a good one. Helicity, I've never even heard of helicity. Is it really from a... Oh, it's from particle... Wow. I'm shocked. You mean to tell me that Remco mentioned something and it's from particle physics? How could I have ever predicted that? I mean, that's caught me off guard. Directly related to spin. Is it... Wait. Helicity, helix. Would it be related to complex numbers? Hold on. Directly related to spin. I actually know the spin. Never mind. I don't know then. Currently is important though. One ibuprofen doesn't have an effect in human body. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, the thing is, when talking about chirality, what you're actually talking about is the... No, not orientation. The organization of the molecule. I forgot the word. I had it in my head just a second ago. And like, that's obvious. Why do you have to call it chirality? Just stereochemistry in general introduces so many terms that are just organic chemistry specific versions of just normal English words. Like, yeah, molecules with different arrangements will have different effects. To annoy fake scientists. I mean, that really is the reason, isn't it? The thing is, whenever I mention stereochemistry, every chemist I know always is like, oh yeah, but I don't know, human body doesn't process the sugar that's arranged the other way. And like, yeah, why would you expect it to process? It's a different molecule at the end of the day. It may be made up of the same atoms, but it is a different molecule. The thing is, I just don't find it... It seems obvious. It's still important, I get it, but I don't see the reason for introducing all this many words to something that's obvious. If you have a Rubik's Cube, right, we don't have Rubik's Cube specific terms for its arrangement. We just describe it. That's a whole other rant, so I'm just gonna... Chirality is a thing in particle physics too. Yeah, because it's a whole word that comes... And the origin of the word, chirality. Where does chirality come from? Yeah, there we go. Probably asymmetry involved in a branch of science. So, asymmetry like this. So it's not just chemistry, but an CP violation. Yeah, that's actually... I was about to guess that that's where it comes from. Because it makes sense. Things one way wouldn't be the same as the other way. To get this that was left over, for example, would be an alkene ethylene. Alright, so you add two things together, you get a new one. Elimination goes the other way. Makes sense. Substitution just substitutes, that's a shocker. And then a rearrangement. Okay, cool, neat. Sick, amazing. Remember, why do you have a wrench next to your name? To hit people that ask annoying questions, exactly. Do you also use ChatGPT sometimes better understand topics, or do you research? I just use books. I don't use ChatGPT. The thing is, I can't trust ChatGPT. As much as I would like to, I unfortunately can't. Because there are a lot of things which just don't have simple answers. And ChatGPT will try to oversimplify in a way that I worry might taint them a bit. Let's overall description of reactions here called mechanism. Mechanism describes in detail what takes place at each stage of chemical transformation, which bonds are broken in what order, which bonds are formed, what order. Phenomenal! I love it. Bond breaking, bond making, yeah, come together, yield products, specific ones drag the molecule break, specific bonds are formed. Makes sense. Chemistry. There are two ways in which a covalent bond can break. A bond can break in an electronically unsymmetrical way, so both bonding are one polar, or they split, right? Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So, unsymmetrical is indicated using a full-headed arrow. Okay. And symmetrical is the fishhook. I like it. It's simple notation, it's explainable. Neat. It's asymmetrical. Asymmetrical? No, I feel like it's different because asymmetrical... Isn't asymmetrical more when something just isn't symmetrical? In this case, it's fundamentally unsymmetrical because, you know, it's... You have 2 electrons on one side, no electrons on the other. ChatGPT responds as humans will respond on average. It's even worse, actually. It doesn't respond how humans... Well, it's not worse, not kind of better. Depends how you look at things. The problem is that ChatGPT doesn't respond how humans will respond on average. It responds to what word would come next, or what sentence would come next, or what token would come next, basically. And the problem there is that what token comes next is not quite the same as... You know, what's the fact? Now, granted, yes, books can also be wrong, but books are written for the specific purpose of being right. So books will be, you know, step better in this case. But books take time. How can I increase the speed on a sentence if read speed is not an issue? Read a lot of books. Practice makes perfect. If you want to get better at just ingesting knowledge this way, just read more. Not give everything. Once you get used to it, the same way as you can advance in any science. Just do the thing that you're bad at, and then you eventually become good at it. That's all what I do. I would still be asymmetrical, and books have loads of peer review. What that would be both? I mean, yeah, it might have been asymmetrical, but it's nicer this way. You have symmetrical and symmetrical. Comical. That's why Make is doing everything, exactly. Okay, makes sense. And the arrows tell you exactly where it's going. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, chemists, you have outdone yourself. Okay, so they can either go this way. Okay, this notation is a bit more confusing. Electronically unsymmetrical way, both electrons are donated to new bond. This is a tad more confusing. I don't quite understand why they... Is it supposed to represent to which atom the bond is closer? I don't know. Why wouldn't they just go both to the plus? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna accept it. Fine. But I have issues keeping my concentration on large sets of data. Yeah, but if you just ignore that problem, then you will continue on having trouble with concentration on large sets of data. And the thing is, you can, I suppose, you can ignore that problem, that's fine. However, this will mean that at every point, like, this is a very general skill. It's not specific, it's not just about books. Ingesting information, which is hard to digest, is a skill that's really important in science because... In science, researchers really like their jargon. They really do. And so if you want to understand them, you will have to learn their language, unfortunately. Or their way of speech, rather. You have reactions where after full reactions, product will form substrates and substrates will form products when it will settle an equilibrium point. That sounds like a normal reaction. What's the difference between that reaction and normal reaction? Have an even number of reactions. Okay, processes that involve unsymmetrical polar reactions make sense. Neutral chemical species that contain on number of electrons, thus single electron one orbitals. Okay, neat, sick. Less commonly encountered called peroxylic reaction. More carefully in chapter 30. This is chapter 6. Oh, unless you're chaptering differently, I guess. You can have unreversible reactions or reversible ones. I love it when people say that sort of thing in science. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it when in different books you find this sort of thing. It's absolutely amazing. You can have particles with mass or massless particles. You can have unreversible reactions or reversible ones. Like, really? What a shocker. I absolutely love it when textbooks say that, because it's hilarious to me every single time. Like, yeah, the two categories of things in this universe are chairs and things that aren't a chair. It's hilarious to me. Reactions occur because of the electrical attraction between positively polarized, negatively polarized interfaction groups and molecules. Yeah, that's physical discussion of compound, section 2.2, and that's... Massive particles behave significantly different than massive particles. Yeah, but I mean, you know, when you have just a block of text which says particles can either be massless or massive, then like, duh. Yeah, that is the two options. If you can come up with a third one, a negative mass, imaginary, that'd be pretty impressive. Don't bring mass into this. Give an example that doesn't involve mass. Oh my goodness. Struggling to think of one because of relativity. I was about to say that things can either have velocity or be stationary, but Remco then it's gonna be pissed because of some relativity reasons. On a scale of Elon Musk to homeless, how broke are you? Buddy, that's not a good scale. Allow me to show you why. If we have a scale like this, from homeless to Elon Musk, then an average person will be like right here. Hold on. There we go. That would be an average person. So that's not a good scale. If they are equivalent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But okay, if you're doing classical mechanics, then that's kind of like saying in classical mechanics that things can either be stationary or can have velocity. Does that mean that space is fundamentally four-dimensional? No, space-time is four-dimensional, but not space. Okay. Most organic compounds are electrically neutral. Also, another favorite thing when that's mostly just organic chemistry. When this says most, that's just organic chemistry. I can't really argue with that one. That's just the space-time is 11-dimensional if you are open for greatness. Oh, Remco, quit masking it. You just want the one extra dimension to solve the graviton, don't you? Imaginary parts change of mass. No, I said unless you have imaginary mass, as in hypothetical, there is no proof of imaginary mass, as far as I'm aware. There's no proof of negative mass, also, as far as I'm aware. In order to have negative mass, you would need... Well, if the equivalence holds, then that would mean also negative gravity, which I don't think we've ever seen. Remco needs the drugs in one of these 11 dimensions. Honestly, that would be absolutely killer. That would be an absolutely killer collab, you know? Flame, Remco, Reblux, and then Farmer Main just feeding them drugs to keep them going. There is type of negative mass. Bonding energy, dark matter. I suppose. But that's a very tricky negative mass, isn't it? Yeah. The thing is, in chemistry, one of the most common problems, at least one of the most common problems I've seen whilst researching it for videos, is to answer the question of if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, is it actually a duck? So, is gravity because it looks like gravity, or is it actually carried by particles? This sort of thing. Like, the behavior on these big scales wouldn't be that different. So to answer that, you would need to go really specific. And in this case, is it actual negative mass, or does it just look like negative mass? Oh, because energy is shiftable. Only changes in energy can be detected. Also, yeah, hold on, another thing. In order to have negative mass, wouldn't you need negative energy? And that was a whole biggie problem with the E squared equals MC squared plus HP squared. SN bonds within a molecule, particle bonds in functional groups are polar. Okay. Oh, hence importance of functional groups. Negative energy isn't a bad thing on its own. Never mind below. That's really bad thing. I see. I didn't remember the reason. I just remembered that it was the big problem with energy squared. What happened to gravity if you stop time? Because it is a force, but also the curvature in space-time. Define stop time. What do you mean stop time? Because I feel like that's the problem there. We think of time in a different way than... You mean like taking a single slice of the space-time? Because then that would... I feel like that would answer your question. If you think of space-time in a two-dimensional universe, like this, then basically stopping time would mean taking a single slice and just deleting the rest of the universe. That's basically what stopping time would mean. So, if you have curvature in space-time, then I guess... I mean, my line of logic may be flawed, I would want to make that clear, but if you stop time with curved space-time, then you're just gonna kind of different slices. By assuming that all negative energy states are filled. I absolutely love that. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite page on LibreText. Hold on. Is it this one? It's the next page, isn't it? Look at that! I'm not joking. This is my favorite page on LibreText. And the next physics video will be quantum mechanics, but after that is going to be either relativity or... well, it's either going to be relativity with this, or like history of physics, quantum physics. Assumption space antiparticles. That's why I love it, because it's so elegant. It's so elegant and just... It was like, clearly Dirac also wasn't sober when coming up with this, but it's great. So you take derivative of space-time, you get space where time is stopped. If you take a derivative of space-time, you get space where time is stopped. What do you mean take a derivative of space-time? Because space-time is a four-dimensional vector, basically, at the end of the day. That's how... Well, that's the simplest way to think of it. X, Y, Z, T. So how do you take the derivative of it? You could, I guess... I mean, but you would need to something in relation to something. Do you mean derivative of space in relation to time? Because space-time itself, which is a four-dimensional vector. Oh, space in relation to time. Well, that's velocity. Make, what's your take on combinatronics? Combinatronics, I had that somewhere. I don't remember where though. Combinatronics. Combinatronics. What is it? Counting. Oh, that's where I heard of it. That makes sense. I don't have an opinion. I don't love discrete maths. I find continuous maths way more fun. So I don't know much about combinatronics. Drake had to be ultra autistic and ultra high for this. Two rights for a left. I mean, yeah. This is insane. Dirac makes elegant things. That's true. I mean, antiparticles is insanity. That he was like, oh yeah, there's just infinite amount of them. Anti-scientific committee of ADHD meds and genetic Alzheimer's memory drugs. Pharma if you do that, then you're gonna rob us of like 60 years of advancement. Physicists need to be crazy and high all the time in order for them to achieve optimal results. That's a requirement. Define continuous maths. Well, maths that's continuous. This non-discrete. That's why you need funding to advance science. Exactly. All of these drugs are just a business expense. There should be a tax write-off for scientists buying drugs. That's my take. There should be a tax write-off for this as like a business expense or for the good of humanity. Scientists should have a tax write-off for buying weed. And I'm not afraid to say it, okay? I'm not afraid to say that. When were you gonna tell me that I'm not in a voice channel, by the way? There we go, look at the handsome guy. Clip that. Okay, so that's why functional groups are functional. Makes sense. Bond polarity is gonna look at symmetrical electron distribution. Yep. Elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, and chlorine are more electronegative than carbon, so a carbon atom bonded to one of these has a partial positive charge. I should make notes probably, right? Shouldn't I? First, there'll be all sorts of reactions, whatever, I don't care for it. What I do care about is this, which is polarity. Most organic polarity. There's gonna be just light notes, but most organic compounds are electrically neutral. Can you condense 766 pages on smooth manfolds to 2 sentences? In the socialist economy, psychoactive drug will be allocated on need. Scientific advancement, exactly. That's make it 2028 for the supreme ruler of Europe. I will give scientists a tax write-off on weed. Hi Vibu, you've joined in at the perfect time. Okay, then we have this. Okay, metals are less electronegative than carbon. Okay, metals are... It's all gonna be as quotes. Are less electronegative than carbon. Also, just give me this page and let's just link it here. I miss Ren. What do you mean you miss Ren? Ren joined in for like 3 charity checkups. Got everyone excited, telling everyone that she's gonna write fanfic of me and then left. For a tax write-off on drugs they need income, just subsidize it. Genius! Genius! Yes. Our policies grow. In social economies, there was no little tax industry funded producer that was publicly owned. She's busy writing fanfic. If she's this dedicated, then cannot wait to see it. Alright. Elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, and chlorine are more negative than carbon. There we go. That's important. And then electronegativity, we don't really have to explain, that's pretty simple. So yeah, we have chlorine, which is more electronegative, so it's pulling them away. And then electronegative is an awful word, by the way. I know that chemists hate everyone they ever come in contact with, clearly, because of what they have done to electron, but electronegative just goes so much further than that. Setting an electron to have a negative charge and then calling this electronegative, it's a crime against science. That's the least I can say. So polarity bonds don't care, we already got. Okay, cool. Bond polarity is oversimplifying that we've considered only bonds that are inherently polar due to difference in electronegativity. Polar bonds can also be result from the reduction of functional groups with acids or bases. I see. In neutral methanol, the carbon atom is somewhat electron poor because of the electronegative oxygen that attracts the electrons. Yeah, the protonation of the methanol oxygen by an acid, however, a full positive charge. Okay, so if you take methanol and if you protonate it, that's a hilarious word. I absolutely love it. What if people were just taught children quantum mechanics from the start and build up normal physics? They don't have to assume anything in science. I don't know. Quantum mechanics, that depends. Would you like oversimplify it or not? Because if you wouldn't want to, then you would need to go with relativistic quantum mechanics to actually have that solid understanding with no assumptions. And relativistic quantum mechanics is really math heavy. Like, yeah, there are a lot of good analogies, but there is no escaping the maths in relativistic quantum mechanics. It is really math heavy. Okay, so they can be alright. This is quite great. There's no way for me to note this down, or just something I have to remember. Okay, so idea for a video, which is basic skeleton or whatever. Get it? Because the skeletons, like the skeleton, you get it. It's funny. Fun fact: based on my calculation, the Minecraft core has 217 zetajoules per kilogram. What? How did you calculate that? 217 zetajoules? That is a lot. That's an insane lot. Zeta is above peta, if I'm not mistaken. Or even higher, maybe. Where'd you get that? Prefixes. SI prefixes. Is zeta above peta? Did I remember correctly? No, there's peta exa in zeta. Are you certain? That is an insane lot. Hold on, allow me to show, like, as an analogy, you have a, let's just say a ton, alright? So 1,000 kilograms. 1,000 times speed of light. 300 of, how did I not remember that, honestly? 300 million squared. Wait, is meters per second or kilometers per second? It's been a while since I actually meters per second. Okay, that's good. Squared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's equal to how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 times 16 zeros, if I'm not mistaken. 16 plus 3, I think. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. Did I get it right? 19 zeros? Which would be 9, This is XR, so 90 XR joules. Did I get that right? I think so. But that's like the theoretical limit. The limit. So where did you get 217 zetajoules per kilogram, by the way? Where did you get... That's an insane amount. Where'd you get that number? I'm curious enough to see the reasoning, honestly. Okay, so first we're gonna go over... Is Polarity decent? Nah, why not? Polarity will be first. This can obviously change as water in Minecraft has a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, right. Comes only... annihilated antimatter. Does that matter contain the energy? Does the energy come from the Higgs field, which gives matter? You're not quite. Higgs field matters, pun intended, because things have matter at low energy. Except energy, where would they get that energy to have that matter? Because they clearly have to be on not so low energy, and that's the Higgs field. However, it's more like energy gives rise to matter, if I'm not mistaken. Mass, not matter, by the way. Mass, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, if you have a lot of energy, that's a strong interaction, best example. In a proton, 99% of its mass comes from the energy of a strong interaction. To evaporate water, we need to get it to 100 degrees Celsius, and then go with the energy transforms. That's a number I'm too lazy to figure out right now. I'll attempt. I did not hear anything the past minute. Did I get that wrong? Wait, which part did I go wrong? Did I understand wrong, Remco? Because I don't... Doesn't energy give rise to matter? And Higgs field matters because at low energy, elementary particles still have matter, which was odd. Higgs field matter. Yeah, I know, I'm hilarious. Okay, so we'll have polarity, which is just basics of electronegativity. There we go. And then different functional groups effect on the electron structure, the molecule. A sponge can take up to 65 water source blocks, which you can dry 8 of them in furnace. Actually, not that mold yet because I'm standing right now. Okay. So sorry the serving maker, but I need some help. I don't have any motivation to do literally any studies or anything that benefits me. It feels like a burnout. Do you mean any motivation, or is it a temporary or permanent thing? Because if it's temporary, rest works, however you need to pick the right kind of rest. It's kind of like with food. Eating junk food feels good, but it has a long-term negative effect. Eating healthy food has a semi-positive long-term effect, but it sucks in the moment. You need to pick something that tastes right and is good for you. The same thing with rest. You need to pick something that's both relaxing and it won't make you feel bad. Been going out for more than a month. Okay, so it's permanent then. Well, then I suggest a hobby. A hobby to get you hooked in. You need to find something different to do. At least that's my strategy. What do the universe 2 dimensions of time look like? Oh, I am not clever enough to answer that question. It's because time is complicated in all the equations, and I do not understand them well enough. Time is really the odd one out. Space is relatively simple. Pun intended. Oh, source blocks have been placed at the height limit to flow down to void. Enormous pyramid of water. Oh, Cuckoo, but that's cheating. That's cheating. You're basically assuming an infinity there. No, come on. For that, you'd have to assume that the Minecraft bucket has a volume of tens of thousands of not tons, liters. Kiloliters, I guess. Hi there, unknown MM13, welcome. It's actually infinite energy. I mean, yeah, it would be borderline infinite energy then. That is cheating. Not that much water. You might as well say that the empty bucket in Minecraft has a black hole inside of it, because I'm pretty certain with that kind of density, you would be able to make a black hole. Actually, you know what? Oh, what was the equation called for the size of the black holes depending on mass? Equation for the size of a black hole. Was the limit... Oh my goodness, it was such... How am I supposed to spell that name? Anyone knows how it's spelled, maybe? Schwarzschild, thank you. My goodness, those Germans, am I right? Limit. I don't know if I... Close enough. Yeah, because black makes sense. Black child limit. Okay, so this right here we have the black child radius, which is 2gmc squared. I feel like that would be around the limit, right? Like hoggled on. So let's right here assume the pyramid, because why not? How would the pyramid flow? Paint. We have 1, then 3 by 3, then 5 by 5, or in other words, an odd number each time. So 1 plus 3 squared plus 5 squared plus dot dot dot. I don't remember some notation, but it would be basically n squared, or rather odd number. A simple way to get all the odd numbers. Oh, I mean, I guess I could specify on the odd numbers, but no, like a more clever way. So like an n times 2 minus 1. Right? Because then it would be 4, that's 3. It would be 6, it's 5. Yeah, squared. So basically a sum of this, depending on the n. Oh, n plus 1. No, no, not n plus 1, because for n equal to 3, so if we're on the third block, it has to be 25. So this would be 3 times 2, which is 6, minus 1, that's 5, and that's squared. So that's 2n minus 1. Depends if you define vacuum with or without the vacuum energy. That's a fair point. There are levels to a vacuum. Diagonal on the base of the pyramid will be 8 times the height, which is 360. 300... Wait, what? The diagonal? I don't care about diagonal. Okay, so the height is 384. Alright, I can work with that. Oh wait, we need the sum. Piss. We need the sum, not the thing. I could do it. You know what? I don't care for maths. Let's just do it in Python. We have technology. Surgery, make the muffin. We have technology. We have access to it. Let's just do it. Alright. Pyramid. .py, if you wouldn't mind, because then these will recognize the Python. For I in range, you said height. I'm banning this guy for spamming. Don't give me the actual question. No. I started doing it with Python. We're doing it in Python because it's easier for me at this point. 4, and then blocks is equal to 1, 0. My goodness, what's wrong with you? Code, come on. And then blocks plus equals 2 times I minus 1 square print blocks. This is gonna be a big number. There we go, we got this, that's cool. Okay, so we have this now. Now we can Python print this number times 2 times, and remember the gravitational constant, 300, 123, 123. Gravitational constant, what would you be? You would be pretty small. Nm kilograms, that is what we're looking for. So 6.67 whatever times 10 to the negative 11. Did I do it right? That's still pretty small, actually. Divided by c squared, by the way. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be even smaller. Never mind. I have underestimated you, black holes. Piss! I brought it to the power. That's not what I meant. Uh-oh. Whoops, that would have been a pretty big number. And also forgot about brackets, because of course I did. Neat. That's the radius, negative 19. Be really small. Yeah, you'd need to squish it to a femtometer. Really? Is that how massive black holes are? I wasn't expecting it to be this order of magnitude, honestly. You mean this Joule to EV conversion constant? Alright. How you can affect polarity. So, for example, what's this? Further consideration is the visibility as opposed to polarity. Oh boy, fun. No, 1.1 times 10 to the negative 11, 19, I mean. What if we collided a black hole with an anti-black hole? There is, funny enough actually, there would be no anti-black hole. There is no such thing. You can't have an anti-black hole. Unless you would have negative energy. Then you, technically you could call it, it wouldn't be exactly an anti-black hole, but you could call it at the very least an anti-black hole. But you can't have... Fake news make it. What do you mean fake news? I'm not in the wrong here. If you chuck an antimatter into a black hole, you just make a black hole. Theoretically, it's possible. In what way? How? Isn't anti-black hole white holes? I mean, it just spews matter theoretically. Yeah, but how would you make one? With a lot of antimatter. With a lot of antimatter, you should still just make a black hole. Am I wrong? Isn't that the whole big deal with black holes, you know, erasing information? Isn't that the big problem of black holes? What would be the difference between a black hole and an anti-black hole? So black hole had negative charge, right? I mean, yeah, but electromagnetic charge, if I'm not mistaken. It's white. That is absolutely high in it. Make a black hole the size of a hydrogen atom and collide with an antihole of the same size. what would happen? How would you define an antihole, Esteban? Let's first get this out of the way. Because you're saying a lot of things which are vague, like vague concepts, but if you actually need an exact answer, you also need to exactly specify things. Because if you mean like black hole made out of antiparticles, then if you collide both of them together, you're just gonna get a black hole that's double the size. If you, like, here's the thing. If you make a black hole of 10 kilograms, right, and out of matter, and then you make another black hole, 10 kilograms, but of antimatter, if you collide both of them together, then, you know, omitting all the complex interaction, just in a simple world, it would just create a black hole with 20 kilograms. Unless you would have a whole, you know, unless you would have like negative energy, I would say an anti-black hole would have an opposite gravitational field. But here's the problem: if it has an opposite gravitational field, right? Field is due to mass. If it has a negative gravitational field, that would basically mean negative mass, which would basically mean negative energy. And also another thing: if it has negative gravity, wouldn't it just fall apart? What would stop it from falling apart? When the Big Bang happened, did it also create equal amounts of antimatter? As far as I'm aware, yes. But antimatter isn't as cool as matter. Matter is just cooler and preferable. And when the heat happens, does it become a big black hole? Depends. Depends on what you assume will happen in the future. How long are these black holes even lasting? Would there be a time for collision? Oh, you mean black holes be small? I don't know, the Hawking radiation. Mod matter was made in antimatter. Is it really? I thought it was the same. I thought it was the symmetry breaking that actually tipped the balance in matter's favor. How do you know you're not made of antimatter and the actual matter is just antimatter that of the matter you made out of? That's simple. Because we called this matter matter and we called the antimatter antimatter. There is nothing anti about antimatter, it's just opposite. The same thing with charge. There is nothing positive about proton charge, it's just opposite to the electron. That's it. Naming convention gets confusing, especially for the electron. The naming convention for the electron sucks because it makes reactions so much more difficult, especially with electron negativity, because there's a negativity of it and of a negativity, and also reduction doesn't actually reduce the charge. Dark matter being more abundant than matter. No. Antimatter is less abundant than matter. Wouldn't everything be annihilated, nothingness, pure entropy? Haha! Unknown. Well, because of Remco, I've actually learned about CP symmetry breaking. Which CP violation, to be exact, yeah. Which basically would mean that universe could favor matter. On average, things could tend to matter more than antimatter. Would make it a better naming scheme. Well, first of all, electron being positive would be so much better already. That's it. That's the first step. We could just call it positive charge. That we already need. Also, step 2, we could also not... Well, you know what though? Positive would be good enough. But if you really want to go this way, you could just call it electron charge. You already have the E. You already have the unit of the electron. Like, when are we talking about charge in physics? We already call it E. We don't call it just one, like, -1 charge. Actually, I guess the magnitude. We don't call it one charge. We just call it the electron. We might as well add in the sign An anti-black hole exists as a theoretical solution for the Einstein equations, which would entirely cancel the effect of a black hole interacting. But what would anti-black hole be made out of? That's the question. Because it exists as a theoretical solution, but... You know, how would you make one? How would atoms exist with positive electrons? There's, as I mentioned, there's nothing... It's a convention. We can just sweep them around with one. We could make proton negative and electrons positive. Would you have to lobby to make that happen? That's a good question. Extreme clamping of pressure. Negative pressure. Vacuum? What's... Remco, you're overdosing on the physics again. You've been doing physics again, haven't you, Remco? I've told you, this is gonna lead you a dark path. You're talking about negative pressure now. It's worrying. Remco is not good for you. That's too much physics. You're addicted. Anti-black hole is an anti-particle black hole. Yeah, but there's something that must cause it. Because you can treat black holes as particles, but they're not really. I mean, they kind of are. It depends. I guess it depends how you view it. Hi, Make It, love your videos. Is particle spin actually anything to do with spin? If not, would it be a better name? It is. That's the problem. That's the problem with spin. It actually is to do with spin. Basically, where it comes from is simple. If you imagine particle as a ball, if you imagine it spinning, then that would have the same effect as spin. The only problem is, in quantum mechanics, we don't treat particles as balls, we treat them as points. And points mathematically cannot spin. So, both of these come together, and that's kind of the pickle of spin. So, it's a bad name, but I don't know how much better it could be. It could be angular momentum, I guess. Something angular rather than spin itself. Any mention of spin gets us on a lecture why spin is bad. Spin is bad. It is, don't get me wrong. I feel like something with angular momentum would be much better. Anything to do with spinners. That's Remco's domain. That is Remco's domain. Remco knows much more than me. Like, it's not even close. Remco knows much more than me on physics. Especially particle physics. Weren't particles in quantum mechanics treated as waves? Yeah. Wave-particle duality. Hence why we have the wave function. That's why I always draw photons this way. Really nice picture. I hold the steering wheel here. Oh, Remco, I see how it is. You're feeling a bit too big for your britches, huh? I'm all for it, hey. Go slay. Mod abuse? What are they gonna do? Complain to the mods? You also should do some organic chemistry for your sake of your own sanity. I'm trying and failing. Electric give others changes because changing interactions with solvent the electron distribution around the atom also changes. Response to the electrical polarizability of the atom. Larger atoms with more... Flame already explained this to me a while ago, so... We should make prisoners 4 teach physics, so they will never go out the rooms again. The thing is, Flame already taught me most of this stuff. This is more of a reminder. Stuff is more polarizable. Oxygen and... Okay. How can you affect polarity? I mean, that's also there. Plus polarizability. That's the common, though non-polar corny electron values nevertheless. Okay. I've been outside since Wednesday, my goodness. How much sleep are you right now? 9 hours. I'm sleeping well. I don't know. Listen, I don't want you all to get the wrong idea. I'm sleeping well. I'm eating well. I'm You can't be productive if you have a bad lifestyle. Listen, if you're losing sleep, if you're not sleeping, if you're going full-on insomnia mode, then you're not going to be productive. If I was only sleeping like 4 hours a day or something, I wouldn't be able to make a video a week. Really invested in learning physics. I refuse to pick a level physics. It's a curious problem. Alright, this is a function of group. What do you mean? Okay. So they react as if they were polar because of their influence on them. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Why putting so much energy in your videos? Purely logical standpoint. Why not? What am I supposed to put that energy towards? What else should I do? Polarity chemical reactivity, because unlike chain charges attract, the fundamental characteristic of all polygonic reactions is that electron-rich sites with electron-poor sites. Reactive electron-poor sites. Okay, that makes sense. Made an electron-rich atom donates pairs of electron to an electron-poor atom. Bonds are broken when one atom is above. Okay, yeah. Electron-rich electron-poor species involved in the polar reactions. Nucleophile and electrophile. Nucleophile is a substance that's nucleus-loving, positive charge. Okay, makes sense. Has a negatively polarized electron-rich atom. Makes sense once again. Everything pretty simple, I would say. Because you can always go in the army. But then I wouldn't be able to make any videos. What's the point then? I think instead of the question what's your favorite number, a much better one would be which number do you hate the most? I don't know, I just really like number 36 and that's it. I don't have a number that I hate. Okay, this is all pretty simple, I would say. Does the Avogadro show them electronegativities? That's not what I meant. How do you draw things again? Oh my goodness, how do you... Oh wait, carbon. Quit adding hydrogens, don't adjust them, just add carbons. See if I care. I'm just curious, and then... Nah, fine, you know what, whatever. Don't adjust hydrogens. And then... How do you bond? Oh my goodness, I forgot how this software works already. Okay, got it. Remember now. Let's add some borons, let's add the hydrogens. I just want to check if it will show anything. I hate the current subscriber count, it's too small to like. Well, you have to rub it in. Hate is not the make it way, exactly. I already made 44,100 bots. Wait, how do you versus simulate? Oh my goodness, wait, first of all. Van der Waal, don't care. Wireframe, no. Surfaces, no. Stick, no. This, no. Ring, no. Ribbon, no. This, no. Polygon, no. Don't care. Label, I don't care. Hydrogen, no. Dipole, no. Cartoon, no. Damn it. There we go. That's our molecule. And we just found the most stable arrangement. How do you rotate? Oh, that's awful. Can you show me the electronegativity? Maybe. May I? It would make sense for it to be a dipole, I guess, right? No? There's nothing. There's just nothing. Dipole moment, custom vector. I don't care much. I don't know. They're too complicated. As a Remco bot, I can confirm. Like, do you prefer Newtonian mechanics or agrarian mechanics? I think on agrarian simply because I've seen them used more. That's it. I have no deep reason. That's my favorite atom. Oh, my favorite atom is just a singular proton. That's my favorite atom. Just a single proton. Yeah, this is the best atom. I agree. It's always comical to me how basically with acids they can either move electrons around or they can move hydrogen. Actually, they just move electrons or proton, but we just call it hydrogen for some reason. Ah, yes. Positive hydrogen ion. My favorite. Is there really no way to get the... Click to measure, align molecules. Don't care for it. Yeah, crystal... No. How do you? Hold on, I'm asking my guy. This sort of thing. There we go. Consider my guy asked. How does a proton taste? Well, I'm gonna assume bitter. Actually, no, hold on. It would be extremely basic, wouldn't it? Then yeah, actually bitter, yeah. I think basic. I think so. Hold on. Which one? I already forgot which one of the acids. The acids are the... Never mind. Then it will be really sour. Make it has a husband, guys. Well, don't tell everyone. It's not flame, unfortunately, though. Unfortunately, it's not flame. Flame is too busy curing cancer. Electron poor electrophilic side. Water, for instance, acts as an electrifier noise, but an electrifier is normally per electrons. Okay, similarly cover. Okay. And also plus acids, I guess, because why not? And there we are. Next chapter. I imagine electrons taste sour. I don't know why. It just makes perfect sense to me. Actually, they wouldn't, Gemma. Funny enough, they would be the opposite of tasting sour. Lewis, to be more exact, would be the simplest one to show. Lewis acids versus bases. If a Lewis acid is positively charged, that means the proton would be sour. And eating electrons would be kind of like eating a base. And bases are bitter, if I do remember correctly. So eating electrons would actually be bitter. The more you know, am I right? Why are you using that duck thing in your search bar? Oh, you mean DuckDuckGo? Because when I use Google, I need to solve a CAPTCHA. That's why. And I just got tired of solving CAPTCHAs every 5 seconds. The reaction alkane ethylene with hydrogen bromide. When ethylene reacts with room temperature, bromoethane is produced. So what can be formulated as this? Okay. So we have the ethylene nucleophile, makes sense, with electrophile, but wouldn't be electrophile only on one side. which then makes bromoethane, which is generally more stable. It checks out. I would say it checks out. Well, I need to solve a CAPTCHA because I use a VPN and Google don't like that. Doesn't Lewis acid accept electrons? Having more electrons means more sour and more acidic. Gemma, you got this the wrong way around. If a Lewis acid accepts an electron... No, actually, I drawn it poorly. If a Lewis acid, let's take the most extreme acid, that is hydrogen. And then if it accepts an electron, then this electron makes it less acidic. That's because this is an acid and this would be the basic one. So electrons are basic. He's the robot after all, dude. Oh no, my fellow human beings. I am happy to solve CAPTCHA anytime. Just not right now. I am too busy figuring out your chemistry of your body. I mean, the chemistry of organic things. Carbon-based stuff. Well, let's get back to the research, fellow human beings. Electrophilic addition reaction can be used using general ideas because previous section, yeah. Ethylene for the carbon double results in the orbital overlap of sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. The sigma parts pp overlap makes sense. What kind of chemical reactivity in the spectrum with carbon? Carbon won't be known that alkanes such as ethylene are relatively inert because of all the valence electrons tie them in strong non-polar CC and CH bond. Relatively inextricable reaction because okay. How long do you need to write or to a script? Usually around a week, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more. Usually it's around a week. Lewis acid should become more acidic after accepting electrons, just my opinion. Well, I mean, you're entitled to an opinion, but your opinion is wrong. Because that's kind of the opposite of... That's kind of like saying that things should become hotter when you melt an ice cube on them. That's like, oh my goodness, what a killer analogy, I'm back in it. Basically, you can think of it this way. Acidity... Actually, I guess the base... No, it doesn't matter. Acidity would be kind of like heat. Right? A beautiful little flame. Acidity is kind of like heat. Bases are kind of like an ice cube. If you add an ice cube into the heat, then it will become less cold. So the same way as if you add an electron, if you have an acidic hydrogen, and if you add an electron to it, it will become less acidic. You're entitled to an opinion, but we have Lewis acids defined. There is no changing that. That is kind of like saying that my opinion is that if you add an ice cube onto a hot plate, then the plate will get even hotter, which it's an opinion, but scientifically it's incorrect. Then electrons shouldn't be basic, it should be acidic. Why? Why would you like to switch them around? Include positive electron opinion in my video. I mean, I've already included in one of the... I don't remember which one even. The fact that electron being negative is just a dumb convention because always when you're doing stuff in chemistry, it's the electron that's actually moving around. So you just have to flip to negatives for no reason. Electrons remind me of sourness for some reason. I don't think that's a valid reason to completely change up convention. The thing is... Gemma, when you eat sour stuff, that's because of acids. And acids are more positive. So electrons may remind you of sourness, but in reality, it's the other way around. The actually sour things are the protons. Well, not protons, only positively charged molecules. how can you look at the molecule intuitively know this acidic basic to an extent? That's a phenomenal question because it's actually trivially easy. If you want to just at a glance know and not go in depth and actually check, then a simple way to check is how many electrons it has. If its overall charge is positive, then that means it's an acid. If its overall charge is negative, that would make it a base. Technically, I think that's incorrect, but I may not be... I think that technically maybe under some definition that's incorrect, but that's why I used just a hydrogen ion as an example of an acid, because, like, yeah, it would behave. It quacks like an acid, it swims like an acid, so it's an acid. However, really often you also have molecules, which may be acidic, even though they're not charged, in which case this is what matters, the distribution of electrons. For the molecule, oh, that's really important. Ooh, double bonds. A higher, where was it? I lost the quote. Double bonds have a greater electron density than single bonds. Do you know the charge of the electron is a convention and use positive charges with all charges too? That's what I'm saying. That's what should have been done. That's precisely what I'm saying. We should flip the convention. Because it's an idiotic convention for no reason. Like, think... Electronegativity has got to be the dumbest word in all of science. Electronegativity. And it's all because of the convention. Like, reduction doesn't reduce the charge. Because that's not the kind of reduction. It's awful. Oh wait, it doesn't reduce the charge now. Maybe it does reduce the charge, it doesn't reduce the electron. I don't even remember. That's what's so annoying about this. Have you ever made a space vid? I have not. What's your read speed? I don't know. I never checked. Convenient particle physics. Oh, is it? Oh, it's those damn physicists always screwing up chemistry and then being like, oh no, chemistry is awful. You're the reason! Chemistry is absolutely lighting. I mean, physicists just absolutely lighting chemistry on fire and then being like, oh no, chemistry is awful. Oh, look at those fools learning it. And we're proud of it. It makes sense that double bonds have a greater electron density, but the electron pi bond accessible to approaching reactants because they are located below the plane. Double bond rather being between the nuclei. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, so right here they are sheltered, right here they are. Okay. So this all just makes sense. That's surprising. I love it, actually. That's good. I do like it. Can you explain orbitals intuitively? Yeah, they're just shapes that electrons take. That's an orbital. Are you right now learning this chemistry or are you just looking it over? As I mentioned, Flame already went over this with me a couple months back. So this is mostly just me getting flashbacks to my conversations with Flame. But also at the same time, looking it over is enough. It's all this pretty simple stuff. but regardless of the direction, polarity, election pole side, election grid side. Huh. It's all pretty simple so far. Curve down polar action mechanisms. Oh, now we're gonna do the arrow thing. My goodness. Which video is this? This is for the video in 3 weeks. The chemistry video. I've spent so much notes in the past. I don't know how he manages. I don't need that many notes. You just remember these things. The notes are just in case I forget. There are certain things which I know I won't forget. So I don't worry over them. I don't note them down. There's no need. Sort of thing for the cosmic variation to find the type of orbital fluctuations on this. Really? That's mad. Would you ever do an engineering video like the basics? Maybe, I'll see. You know what? My internet is dying. I couldn't help but notice that my internet is absolutely dying. This square should be green, not red. So you know what? I think that might be it for today's live stream. Because it is really cutting off a lot and I'm kind of worried. So I'm gonna go script some more, also make more animations for the math video, and for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great day.